Hi everyone, this is Mary Rulin coming to you from my basement again. It's nice and quiet down here, and I have a fireplace over there, just a little electric one, so it's really nice and warm down here. Right now it is raining and hailing and blowing outside, so I'm really enjoying being in the basement and talking with you all about how do I know. So how do you know? How do you know what essential oils to use? How do you know which one to pick? How do you know where to apply it, or how much to apply? I mean, can you mess it up? I mean, am I going to die? No, you won't die, I promise. You will be fine. That is what this call tonight is all about. You will be fine. So, as we get started, if you have an issue that requires medical attention, go to a doctor. Our oils are awesome. Young Living oils are fantastic. But if you are going to need medical assistance, go. The oils are there to maintain your health and maintain your wellness, not to cure or treat or prevent any kind of diseases. We're just here to make us better and to make us well. That is what we're doing. So, as we state that, let's go on a little bit. So, we know that there are lots of different ways to use oils. We can diffuse them, we can rub them on our face, we can put them on our bodies, we can do the vitality oils in our water if we have a glass or stainless steel bottle, no plastic. So we have all these different ways that we can use oils, so that just multiplies the ways that we can use them, and it also kind of multiplies the confusion for some people. You know, they're wondering, am I supposed to use Stress Away, or am I supposed to use Roman Chamomile, or what about Valor? And, oh, I don't know, I'm just not going to use them at all. No, please don't do that. Something is better than nothing. Just try something. So I guess the first thing I want to cover is which one. How do you know which one? So there are some essential oils like lavender. It's kind of a Swiss Army oil where you can use it for many different things, and it can be used on all kinds of the body. There's lavender vitality, so you can drink that in your water or in your Ninja Red shot and drink that down. Then there's also very more specific oils like Brain Power, which is supposed to help clear brain fog. You know, if you're feeling kind of foggy and you're confused and you're like, I just want to make a decision, but I don't know how. And Brain Power is specifically for that. Will it help your sore calf muscles from running a marathon? Maybe, but that's not what it was intended for. It's not going to hurt anything, but Brain Power is a more specific oil. Another example of that would be like Inspiration. That's really good if you need like creative help, or if you need to kind of get those creative juices flowing a little bit. I wouldn't use that to help you sleep, maybe, because then your brain's going to be going with a million different ideas and you want to go to bed. So it kind of that, some of that is a little common sense, but then we get into these little gray areas like Roman chamomile or any of the chamomiles, German chamomile. They're so good for so many different things that you're trying to figure out what is best. I guess what I want to say about that is you can't do it wrong. There's really no way that you can mess it up. If one oil doesn't work for you, that's okay. Another one will. And you know what? The one oil that maybe didn't resonate with you to help you fall asleep or something, that is probably going to work great for your neighbor. It just kind of takes some trial and error. So I think that's one thing a lot of people do is they try lavender to help them sleep, and maybe it doesn't work for them. And then they're just like, oh, done. I don't want to use oils anymore. They're a fraud and they don't work. Okay, bye. And you're like, wait, no, please come back. I'll help you. Let me help you find some other options. Maybe they need Rudalava, or maybe they need Sleep Essence, or maybe they need Sleep Eyes from the kids line. I don't know. I mean, this is kind of the fun part about being an oiler. You get to try different things. You get to mix and match them up a little bit. So when it comes to trying to pick which one, when in doubt, just go simple. just go easy, go from your starter kit. That's literally the best advice I can give you when you're trying to pick an oil. Lavender is good for lots of stuff. Frankincense is good for lots of stuff. Lemon, don't put that out in the sun, but that's good for a lot of stuff. If you don't have a reference guide and you are on my team, please let me know, because that is a really great way to find out like different kinds of oils that you could try. You also kind of have to figure out which one speaks to you. And I know that sounds a little hokey, but a lot of times I can't decide myself, knowing that I have so many great options to choose from. So I like literally line them up, like 3 or 4, and I just like kind of close my eyes, and when I open them, the first one I see after I kind of mix them up a little bit, that's the one I use. If you're any kind of a healer, I just took a healing class, a healing touch class a few weeks ago, and I'm hooked. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to have this in my life like always. The next big training is coming up in August, and I'm so excited. So you actually have a chakra point in the palm of your hands. Now, obviously, for some people it's stronger, but a lot of times you can do these practices where you kind of start your heart energy or your heart chakra and build up this energy and direct it down your arms and into your hands. I know it sounds a little weird, but I actually tried it and it actually worked. So anyway, this heat comes out as it's trying to heal. So a lot of times what I'll do is if I can't decide, I'll just run my hands over all my oils, and I'll just kind of like wait till something kind of like jumps out at my hands. Like a strong heat will come from it. I know this might not be for everyone. This works for me. And I get like this kind of connection with like frankincense or, Roman chamomile or stress away or purification. And that's how I choose sometimes, because I have so many. It's just like, which one do I choose? I don't know. So a lot of times that's kind of the best ways that I can think of to do it. The reference guide, again, very great resource for you. And if you don't have one, please let me know, because everyone that does oil should have at least the app, which I'll show you here in a little bit. So those are the ways to choose which one. You can also reference the group pages and youngliving.com, and some of those things will really help you decide. Or ask me. You can always ask me, and I'll be giving you lots of suggestions, no problem. The next one is how much. So a lot of times people are like, yeah, I put like half a bottle of Stress Away on my calves because I was doing yard work and my calves hurt. And I'm like, oh, half a bottle? That's a lot. It's not going to hurt you, but what a waste. Not a waste. No, I'm sorry. Essential oils are never a waste. That is, forget I said that. But what a waste of money, maybe. You could have spread that out a little bit more by using a carrier oil or maybe a roller bottle. Well, I don't have any by me, which is weird. I always have one by me. Anyway, roller bottles are a great way to kind of have oils on the go. And so what I typically do with roller bottles, like a 1/3 ounce one, I'll probably put 15 to 20 drops of an oil in there and then fill the rest up with carrier oil. Now, I'm kind of partial to Young Living's V6 carrier oil. That one has a really great blend of a lot of different carrier oils, like grapeseed oil and sweet almond oil and olive oil and coconut oil and all of these really great carrier oils, so I don't have to just pick one. They're all in a nice little bottle for me. So I like that. When in doubt, just start with 1 drop. Literally just 1 drop with a squirt of carrier oil, or like, fine, my squirt is probably like a teaspoon of carrier oil to 1 drop of an essential oil, because they are very pure. They're very potent because there is no dilution. There's no chemical extraction to mix up with the chemicals in there. It is pure. So you are getting really awesome quality oils because of that distillation process. And because of that, you don't need much. There are more mild oils like lavender. All the citrus oils I feel are somewhat mild. I feel like frankincense is a very mild. Copaiba is another one, very mild. And so those I don't dilute as heavy. Just because I like the smell and I think they do a great job on their own. But when in doubt, just do the carrier oil. Another way to figure out how many drops is to do a couple of, this kind of goes in my hokey category with the healing touch class, but a lot of times you can use a pendulum. So for example, you don't have to have a fancy pendulum. You just have like a string and then tie like a washer on the end and kind of hang that down. And what it does is it picks up on the vibrations in your wrist bones here. And so it's not technically the pendulum that's moving, it's actually the vibrations, very subtle little vibrations that are in your wrist that picks up on yes and no. So for example, if I was going to say, show me yes, it would maybe swing this way, and I would say, please show me no, it would swing this way. Again, this is different for everyone. Then I say, do I need 1 drop of Progessence Plus? And I just let it swing. It says yes. Do I need 2 drops? Yes. Do I need 3 drops? No. And that's typically what my daily Progessence Plus recipe is 2 drops. Some days it's more, some days it's 0. So I do use a pendulum, a tiger eye one, just because I like tiger eye stones. And that is how I figure out how many drops to put on. Now you could do this all day long. I mean, you could do this for every oil with every like pendulum and application that you can think of. But do you have time for that? No. So I usually pick like 1 or 2 oils that I know are really going to benefit me, and I do the pendulum on that. So try to do that at least once. You can get them at like Stone Stories. In St. Cloud, there's one called Mind, Body, Spirit. You can get them online. You have to cleanse them. I'll go through that another day, but there's different ways that you can do pendulum work. And then another thing too that kind of goes along with that is muscle testing. If I don't have my pendulum with me, if I forget it, I'm on vacation or something, a lot of times I will just do muscle testing. And there is a bazillion different ways to do muscle testing. So if you Google muscle testing, they'll maybe do this thing where it's like yes is an easy release and no, excuse me, no is a hard release. Google it. It's actually really cool and it works. Excuse me. Okay. There are some different ways to do muscle testing. You can also stand up straight on the balls of your heel. And then like a yes is a forward and a back is a no. That's another example. Do I need 1 drop of peppermint? Yes. Do I need 2 drops of peppermint? No. This is another way to find out how many drops. But like I said, when in doubt, just start with 1 and work your way up from there if you notice a difference. Great. Also, next thing I want to talk about is where to apply these wonderful, lovely little oils that you've now figured out which one you're going to use, how much you're going to use. So you're sitting there like this going, okay, where do I put it now? Where does it go? I don't know. So again, this kind of goes back to the general and specific oil rule. So like again, lavender, depending on what you want to use it for. I mean, if you want to use it to go to shut your brain down so you can go to sleep faster, you maybe rub it on your pillow or just kind of like right here, like on the back of your neck, so you can kind of smell it as you're sleeping. Brain power, another example, that would go on the back of your neck, like right at the base of your skull, or your brainstem. Well, your brainstem's in the middle of your brain, but that's as close as you're going to get on the back of your neck. That would be closer to your brain, so it can do what it needs to do. Agiles, oh, that's the pill, sorry. Aromases. Aromases is one when you have like momentary discomfort due to some physical activity you've been doing, like gardening. I like to garden. Well, okay, I don't like it, but it's fun and relaxing. Get to play in the dirt. It's fine. But after a while, you know, you're bending over the ground, your knees get sore. So I do Aromases on my knees. Does it make sense for me to put it on my elbows? Not really. So this is kind of a thing where it's like each oil does a different thing. Depending on what it does is where you put it. Now, let's say you're just wanting an oil to put on for aromatic purposes. Maybe you want a perfume. One thing I heard about, and I can't remember where I heard it, but I'll take a drop, like say Ula Balance or Ula Grow. I'll put a drop in my hand, maybe two, rub my hands together, and then just do this. And then so now, as my day goes on, I'll just kind of like move my hair around and I can smell it. I mean, your hair is not really a living organism down here, so it's not going to absorb that quickly. So it's different if I put it on my skin, because my skin's going to absorb it and do what it needs to do. But if I just want the aromatic benefits and I'm moving throughout the day, I can get my hair like smells so pretty. So you can put it on your hair and just kind of use the aromatic benefits that way. You can also put it on the bottom of your feet. So your feet are one of the most porous parts of your body. So if you put it in the bottom of your feet, your body takes over. Okay, it gets it to where it needs to go. It takes care of it. And say you put, let's see, what did I put on this morning? I put on a lot. So maybe you put peppermint on this morning. I put a little drop on my feet. My body takes care of it, gets it to where it needs to go. Harmony is another oil. I specifically put that over my solar plexus, which is between your breastbone and your belly button. And that is your solar plexus chakra. And for me, Harmony just works there. Makes me feel harmonious, like the name suggests. See, it's not just a clever name. So there's pulse points you can also put them on. So your wrist, behind your ears, your carotid artery, your inner elbows, behind your knees, your inner ankles. All of these are pulse points where your body is going to just almost give like a quick little pulse of scent every time your blood rushes through. So that's another suggestion too that you could do if you don't know where to apply it and doesn't need to go anywhere specific, like your knees or your throat or your solar plexus or anything. Just put it on a pulse point and just get the benefits of your oils that way. Let's see. Oh, another thing you could do is check your reference guide, which I mentioned earlier. But I also wanted to show you this clever little app, the reference guide app. Oh, it's kind of hard to see. All right, hang on. Let me turn on the brightness here. All right, still hard to see. Okay. We're not doing so good here. All right, you can kind of see it there. So this has like the guide, like by ailment. So you can go and look up, you know, trying to be compliant here. Like loss of smell, that's one in there. And then it has oil blends listed, oil singles and blends. And then it has notes that you can take, how to apply. So application is one of the sections on here. And they have different kinds of application. You've got like a VitaFlex hand, you've got a VitaFlex feet, you've got auricular internal body points, so that's like around your ear, your digestive tract. I mean, all of these things tell you what to do. So for example, if I was going to pull up acceptance, love acceptance, very happy blend. So on the bottom of this, it says application. Best when rubbed over the liver, behind the ears, on the chest, the face, the heart, neck, thymus, and wrist. It may also be applied over the sacral chakra, so your base chakra, kind of like down by your tailbone, and worn as a perfume or cologne. It can also be diffused. Okay, so there, you have so many options that you can choose from. So it's like, just pick one. It says in the reference guide that all of these are good, so just pick one and see what happens and see if you can notice a difference. And if one point of those that was listed doesn't work for you, that's okay. Just try the next one and then the next one, or try them all. See how it goes for all of them. Another example, I'm just going to pull up another one here so you can see how easy this is. Envision. I like Envision. It's a really awesome scent. So this says to apply on the feet or directly on the area of concern. So maybe on your forehead if you want to envision more. It says it can be applied to the wrists, temples, added to warm bath water if you add it to a bath gel base, or just give it as a massage with carrier oil. So there, more suggestions. So if you don't know where or how much, just go on that reference guide app. It's called the, I'm going to make sure I say the name right here. The Reference Guide for Essential Oils. I'm trying to see it so it's not so blurry. There, it kind of looks like that. Okay. By the way, this ticket did not win me anything. I don't know why it's still in there. I have wishful thinking, I guess. Okay, so basically my message tonight is that you cannot do it wrong, okay? Don't worry about it. I would not put an entire bottle of peppermint all over your back without carrier oil. That's not wrong. You're just going to be really, really chill and kind of cold and probably like really happy. So there's no wrong way to do it, but just ask if you're not sure, or use the reference guide, or start small and work your way up. Don't be scared. I know some people are like, okay, how many drops do I need for this? And then add this to how much carrier oil exactly? Tell me exactly how many drops I need. And I'm like, I don't know. Everybody is so different. Nobody responds the exact same way to the exact same recipe. So please just take a breath. It's okay. There's lots of different options, and you will probably be overwhelmed when you open this big reference guide, but just one thing at a time. Just one thing at a time. So for example, I just want to do this one other thing. So if I go into the guide, this reference guide, personal guide, it kind of talks about different ailments. Like right now I'm in the B's. So there's emotional blockage, bloating, boils, that's a bad one. Calcium, calluses. I mean, there's all these different kinds of things that chiggers. I mean, there's all these different kinds of things that you can do. And then you start to think, okay, well, what if I need clarity of thought? Okay, so clarity of thought was one I just pulled up just now. And it says suggested oils are aromatically, clarity, rosemary, and transformation. Those are all really good oils. Those aren't bad. It says just diffuse into the air, inhale directly, or applied to the hands. Simple. Can't really mess it up. So my advice to you is to just try. Just take those oils out of your starter kit. Just open them up. Copaiba. Nobody seems to know what to do with Copaiba. That's kind of one of the starter kit that everybody's like, yeah, I don't really use that one. I don't know what it's for. And yeah. And to be honest, when I first got that one, I was kind of like, it doesn't even really smell like anything. What do I do with it? But Copaiba is a really great driving oil. So if you need to like really enhance an oil that you're using a little bit more, Copaiba would be really good with that. Good for when you're feeling kind of overwhelmed and kind of like, if you've got like some temporary muscle discomfort from some activity that you did, you can use it for all of those things, but it also helps with cardiovascular support, nervous system support, if you need support for your muscles and bones for being healthy, if you want to maintain your emotional balance, all of those things are with Copaiba. And it just talks about how to put them on your feet. You can take Copaiba Vitality. Again, so many options, but don't be overwhelmed. Just pick one and go with it. And if it doesn't work, try another one. What works for your sister might not work for you. So just, you guys aren't weird or doing it wrong. You just haven't found your oil yet. So I just want to thank you guys for being on tonight and for listening to this. Hopefully it helped you a little bit understand the difference between overdoing it and not doing it at all. Don't not do it at all. Just try something. And if you're not sure what to try, go back to the basics. Your starter kit is always a great place to start. So for example, RC is in your starter kit. Great for respiratory support. Now there's also Raven and Breathe Again and the eucalyptus oils. Those are all really great for respiratory support, but don't move into those until you feel comfortable, okay? Just start with RC and then maybe you move on to Raven. And then after that, you get comfortable with that, you try Breathe Again. There's just so much information out there, so just take it one step at a time. You can do it. It's definitely doable. Just have confidence that you are doing what your body needs at this time. And if you accidentally grab a wrong oil, maybe that's not a wrong oil. Maybe your body is trying to tell you, I actually need this one, not that one. So just think about that the next time another oil falls out of your cupboard when you're reaching for something different. So, all right, I'm off. Thank you guys for coming over to my little call tonight. Hopefully that helped. If you have any questions, comment below. And we will see you all soon. Have a great night.